of your picture. Notice this crater was actually caused by probably something as large as an asteroid. This is the crater Clavius. It's 150 miles across. Notice the double ring. This double ring indicates a high impact. A meteor or asteroid struck the moon in such a way it made ripples like a rock dropping in the water. You can see we have like 2 sets of rings around this crater. Now let's take a look at some other sections of the moon. You notice that a lot of these craters look very much like they've been filled in, and we've talked about that before. So you remember about how the craters of different ages on the moon. Now let's just run across the moon and let's see if we can find any tourist attractions. Ah, there was one. Let's go take a look at him. Right there is a very famous one to the upper right-hand corner. That is the crater Tycho. It's known as the belly button of the moon. You can't see it too well here, but there are lines coming out of that. That's a massive impact crater. It's about 56 miles across. And at the bottom again, you can see a little different angle here. Clavius coming into view here with the 2 eyes looking to the upper left. See the 2 eyes looking up. That crater is so big, of course, there's craters inside of craters. Here's something. Look at that white streak coming out of there. That's another high impact crater. In the black area called the mare, the sea area, we have a bright spot. Now that's a recent crater. You see, because it penetrated through the lava flow and punctured underneath to the white rock beneath the surface. And that splattered outward. Just like we can see to about the upper right from that crater, we have another bright spot. So these are late impact craters, things that occurred after the great lava flow. Brings us to the edge of the moon now, and we are in what's called the gibbous phase. Notice how bright this is. You really can't see the details, because you see, on a full moon is the worst time to look at the moon. You need the terminator in order to find and to see how craters are different, the shadows, how they cast. Notice how the edge of the moon is not really smooth. Why, those are mountain peaks coming out across the top of the moon. We're going to try now to see if we can get a little bit closer and take a look at some other features of the moon. Look at this one. This crater is all filled in, especially the one at the top. The walls are even missing because these are ancient craters where the lava has flowed in and tumbled down the walls. And you can even see how the lava moved across to the right-hand side and hit that mountain range, and we've got like waves or ripples where it bounced off the mountains. So the lava flowed through this old area and filled in these craters. Here we are, our most famous crater. Here you can see the rays coming out, those streaks coming out from the center. This is the fantastic crater known as Copernicus. There's Copernicus and Kepler. These craters are gigantic objects. This one's 86 miles across, and that would mean that we have an indication of a possible asteroid that made this hole in the moon. So Copernicus is down in the lower right-hand corner. Let's bring it up a little bit. There you are. So you can see how the lines are coming out of that area. And notice the small, little, tiny, sharp craters. Well, those are recent ones, and they're very deep, of course. The depth of a meteor is based upon the speed of the meteor. Obviously, the faster the meteor goes, the deeper it goes into the surface of the moon. Well, let's see if we can find any other tourist attractions. This was Copernicus. That's the edge of the moon at the top. Once again, we have another crater. This is the very famous crater Plato. Plato is an ancient crater. Now, how do you know that? Look at the bottom of the crater. It's filled in. The lava has come in here and filled it all up. We are in Mare Imbrium. That's the great sea that we're located at the present time. Look at this. Yeah, that's a crater. gigantic crater, but look, it's gone. There's just one small piece of wall left. In fact, this crater is so tore up, it doesn't even have a name. It's just now part of a section known as the Alpine Valley. Look at those two craters buried deep right in the midst of the lava flow. Absolutely spectacular. Oh, it's almost all darkness, but yet, in the lower left-hand corner, we are right on the terminator. The mountain peaks cast such magnificent shadows. You're right at the point of light and dark. By the way, if you go stand in that light, bright sunshine on the moon right there on your left, you're standing in temperatures of about 243 degrees hot. If you travel over into the shadow, the temperature drops to 261 degrees below zero. You see, there's no air in the moon, so things are either hot or they're cold. And if you cut your spacesuit, you have less than a second to decide which way you want to go, boil or freeze. You know, it's interesting. On the moon, right now, sits 26 space probes. 26 of them. The Russians have some there called the Luna series. We have the Voyager series, the Ranger series. We have a Surveyor series, not the Voyager. And we have the Apollo program. Do you see any American flag there? Look careful. Look for No, you can't see no American flag. It's way too small. You're looking at an area right now that's almost the size of the state of Florida. And if you were flying over Florida and you've seen any space photographs, you can't see anything from this height, distance above the moon. You see, if you were flying over the moon right now, you'd be about 200 miles up. So you would have some detail, but you couldn't see everything you would like. So let's move across the moon, one final sweep, as we look at the craters new and old. Ray craters, lava flows. The moon has many features.